Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Your latest forecast, a lot of us take precautions with some up to dense wildfire smoke affecting visibility and air quality. A lot of areas of West Virginia there, including air quality alerts until midnight from the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection earlier this morning. Purple and maroon, that's like very unhealthy to hazardous air quality. So all groups in that category should take necessary precautions with the smoke. And then tonight I'll start watching for chances of rain that do go up likely Saturday night. Heavy and excessive rain leading to flash flooding potential. And also timing 2 rounds of potential severe weather. Later today, isolated damaging winds are possible with a front nearly near and west of Charleston. And then tomorrow, later in the afternoon, Saturday night, a slight risk for scattered severe weather, especially damaging winds. Large hail can't be ruled out in the eastern panhandle. Northern panhandle, a brief spin up of a tornado is possible. High 91 yesterday in Charleston. We have a stationary front transitioning into a warm front powering northeast today. Some of us had fog, and in some areas may have mixed with smoke. And then a cold front comes in from the northwest early Sunday morning. So before that front moves in, I'll be watching for increasing rain, especially Saturday night. Fly Saver forecast, it starts at home. Charlotte heating up near 100 today. D.C., New York City have had issues with smoke recently as well. Air quality alert here to the northern panhandle. Highs near 90, lows in the warm 70s. Eastern areas, smoke, likely dry, warm to hot, highs near 90. Chance of a shower and storm tonight, lows near 70. Air quality alerts here, plenty of 80s and 90s to go around with a chance of showers and storms today, especially tonight. Southern areas, Huntington included in that isolated severe storm risk, high near 94. Again, rain likely, 100% chance Saturday night, ending early Sunday. Another chance early next week for rain, Tuesday and Wednesday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia, bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TAOK or text 304-TALK-304. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
You know, I've decided that when I grow up, which I'm planning on never maturing, but when I do grow up, I want to be Mark Curtis. We check in with Mark every Friday afternoon around 1:45. He writes his column for Patch.com, gives us a little preview of it. And he retired to Florida and is just living it up right there. Daniel Woods is with us right now. He just sent me a text, top of the hour here, said, and on top of everything, I just did a duet of Country Roads with the guitarist inside the bar.
That's incredible.
They were having a little stormy weather down there, and you could tell on the air because he was under an awning at the time. That's what Mark, if you're wondering what retired political commentators do on a Friday afternoon at Fort Lauderdale, they grab a drink and they sing Country Roads.
I'm just picturing Mark Curtis as a background character in Cocktail.
Yeah,
at this point.
Exactly, 100%.
Tom Cruise is, sliding bottles of liquor up and down his arms and pouring tropical little umbrella drinks, and Mark Curtis is just back there hanging out.
Yeah. Now, Mark Curtis is using, of course, you're a Caddyshack guy. I know.
Of course.
I said because I know it's not of your age group, but because you're a sports nut. You got to be greatest sports movie
Well, I
ever.
was raised properly.
I was going to say greatest sports movie ever. He's the guy. He's the Spalding going around, getting the drinks and like down the drinks are left over and getting the cigarette. Although Mark would just keep going. That's the thing. He just like. and keep going. All right.
I want a hamburger.
Yes.
No, a cheeseburger.
Yeah. You'll get nothing and like it. Next week on Sports Blitz, we do nothing but Caddyshack. Just me
Can
and
we?
you, line for line, Caddyshack. 100%. We got to get Rob Reel from our sister station, 96.1 KWS. He would be awesome, in that role as well. All right, so Weekend Sports Blitz, bring you in here, not to talk about Mark Curtis and Caddyshack, but to talk about the weekend in sports. Let's start with the World Cup. I mean,
Got a final set?
Final set. I'm going to rely on you on this. Go ahead.
Sure. So you got the final between Argentina and Spain, which is, I believe, for the first time in World Cup history, and the World Cup's been going on for quite some time, matching up the reigning European champions against the reigning South American champions. Semifinals were really exciting, really interesting. Spain went in as an underdog against France, but that was a matchup we had been wanting to see for the entirety of the tournament. Spain really dominated that match, wins that one 2-0. On the other side, Argentina against England. It's not coming home, as they say, in England. For now 60 years, England has gone without a World Cup, and they lose 2-1 against Argentina. England led 1-0 with 85 minutes played. Argentina scored twice in 7 minutes, and they will get a chance to defend their World Cup title from 4 years ago. And one of the most fascinating things, one of the strangest strokes of whatever you want to call it, of luck, of coincidence, of whatever, is you've got Lionel Messi, who for many people and for me is the greatest soccer player who's ever lived, who is playing in his last World Cup. He's going to retire before the next World Cup in 2030. And Spain's best player is a 19-year-old phenom named Lamine Yamal. And when Lionel Messi was a very young player at Barcelona 18 years ago, he was photographed with an infant Lamine Yamal for a charity calendar that was sold for charity by FC Barcelona. And now, 18, 19 years later, they are the marquee players going head-to-head in what will be Lionel Messi's last World Cup final.
Nice. So, again, I'm speaking as a total football/soccer, whatever you want to call it, novice here. I was in a group text with a bunch of my buddies the other day, and they were all watching, the matches. I was not. But they were saying that he also was the greatest player of all time. So you're going on record as saying he's the greatest player of all time.
I am. And there will be people that will make arguments for Diego Maradona, for Pele, for there will be people out there that will throw Cristiano Ronaldo into that conversation. But Cristiano Ronaldo can't be the best player of all time because he's not even the best player of his own generation, because he comes out of the same generation as Lionel Messi. There's been, I think, no one showed this level of skill for this long with this level of success. The one thing that Messi didn't have was a World Cup for his country. And 4 years ago, he finally got over the hump with Argentina, and he's got a chance now to make it 2 in a row in his last World Cup this year.
Major League Baseball, All-Star game the other night. Your take on that?
It's bad is what it was. National League might as well have not even gotten the bats off the bus. Lost 4-0, struck out 15 times, only had 3 hits. And I get it. You're talking about the best pitchers in the American League, but the best hitters in the National League didn't score and had 3 hits in the All-Star game. That was really disappointing to watch, to be completely honest with you.
Is that a precursor of what's going to happen could come the World Series? We don't know who the teams are going to be. I mean, the best teams right now are the Dodgers and Tampa Bay. Is that
I believe so.
Okay, all right. So is that a sign of things to come?
It could be. It could be. It's hard to take the environment that you get in an All-Star game, play it out into not just a competitive game, but a 7-game series. I think it'll be interesting. I think it's more reflective of where we are with the game of baseball right now, where you have pitchers that have taken things to such a high level with their ability to spin the ball, their ability to throw harder than ever. It is really hard to hit in Major League Baseball right now. And you have, on the other side, hitters have kind of changed the approach, and you will see people, more old school baseball people, talking about how batting averages are going down and guys are trying to hit for too much power. They're trying to pull the ball too much. Well, you combine that with pitchers being better than they ever have before, and it is becoming a more pitching dominant game, and we saw that in the All-Star game for sure.
All right, so going into the All-Star break, the hottest team in baseball was the Boston Red Sox. I mean,
Yes.
they're the hottest team going. This is a team that's had some problems, fired their manager a little bit early in the season, but just based on what they've done lately, the Boston Red Sox were the hottest team in baseball.
You're right, and baseball is a what have you done for me lately sport. Won 9 in a row going into the All-Star break. That's still not really enough to get them within striking distance in the American League East, at least as far as winning the division goes, because the Rays, like you said, are one of the best teams in baseball right now. The Yankees are still 12 games over 500. The Red Sox are still 10 games out of first place, 7 back of the Yankees. But the American League wild card is absolutely wide open. The Seattle Mariners and Minnesota Twins are both 1 game under 500. They are tied for a playoff spot right now because you've got the 3 wild cards right now. Seattle and Minnesota are 48 and 49. They're tied for the 3rd American League wild card spot. The Red Sox are 46 and 48. Coming off of that 9-game winning streak. So there's plenty of opportunity for the Red Sox to get things moving and get back into that playoff conversation because they're kind of in it already right now, and they open the second half with a series against the Rays, so they can kind of prove whether or not that hot streak is for real coming back out of the All-Star break.
Teams that have a lot of fans in this area, the Pirates, of course, the Reds, the Orioles to a certain extent, maybe some Nats fans. What do you think about the Reds going forward?
I think they're going to be sellers at the trade deadline come the end of the month. I don't think this is a situation where you strip it down to the studs and, trade off every piece that you can get value for. But I do think there is going to be a little bit of a reset button that gets pushed with the Reds here. Some of the older members of the pitching staff, Brady Singer, guys like that, probably on the way out. As it sits right now, they're 9 games under 500, and the National League wildcard race isn't particularly out of reach, but there's so many teams between them and a playoff spot. It's so tight in the middle of the National League right now. I think the Reds will probably be best served to move some pieces out and play for 2027.
All right, Pirates.
Swept the best team in their division coming into the All-Star break, swept the Milwaukee Brewers and did it pretty convincingly. And now all of a sudden they're 3 games over 500. They're 2 games out of a playoff spot and have a really important interleague road trip here to start the second half. You get 6 games on the road, 3 in Cleveland, 3 against the Yankees in the Bronx now to start the second half. I think if you get a strong start to the second half, I don't think there's any reason to believe that the Pirates shouldn't be trying to compete for a playoff spot. You've got that trade deadline, like I said, coming up at the end of the month. As it stands right now, I would expect Pittsburgh to probably try to add to compete for that last playoff spot in the National League. They're 2 games out right now.
What about the O's and the Nats? Because we have fans of those teams as
right.
well.
So as far as the Orioles go, 5 games under 500. They're a game and a half behind Boston, who I just said is not out of the hunt in the wild card race in the American League, but things just going in opposite directions there. The Orioles did win 4 in a row going into the All-Star break, but there's just not a lot of confidence there, I think, with the way things have gone this year. It just kind of seems like one you're going to be punting on. And then you look at the Nationals. The American League East has been so good at the top of that division because you've got the Braves that are 15 games over 500. You've got the Phillies that are 10 up, and then the Marlins that are 7 up. The Nationals aren't a bad team. They're 48 and 49, but they're 1 game below 500, and they're sitting in 4th in their division, and they're 8 games out of first place. So it's a little bit of a tough year. It's another year of improvement for a Nationals team that I think is headed in the right direction.
Marshall football had their media day earlier this week in New Orleans. Coach Tony Gibson, I think is in a whole lot better position than what he was going into last year.
And he said as much.
And he said one of the comments that I heard from him at the media days was, last year we were looking at, 70 new players?
75.
75, oddly enough. 75 players coming in, and this year certainly they've got some returners and some that are making some noise as far as preseason accolades.
That's right. Carlos Del Rio Wilson returns as the starting quarterback. He was named the preseason offensive player of the year for the Sun Belt Conference. They put 9 guys on the all-conference teams, which was the most in the league, 6 on the first team, which was also the most in the league. And interestingly enough, you have the preseason offensive player of the year, 6 first-team all-conference selections, 9 total all-conference selections, and they're picked 3rd in the East Division. So that's going to be something interesting to watch. it's clear that the high level of talent for Marshall is some of the best in the league, at least according to the coaches around the league. The question becomes, what does the rest of that group look like to decide whether or not they can compete for a championship in the Sun Belt this year?
What do we hear down in Morgantown these days as far as WVU football? They had their media days last week, but
Right.
What are you hearing now?
It's relatively quiet
Yeah, it's that
right
time.
now. It's that time of year. Off-season workouts are still moving along. By all accounts, the coaching staff, the program feels better than it did a year ago. You're going to feel better in year 2 than you did in year 1. And we talked about it a little bit last week. Every time I hear Rich Rodriguez talk about this team, it is clear that there is more confidence in his voice than there was this time last year. That's the thing that stands out to me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you West Virginia is winning 10 games and they're going to compete in the Big 12 for the championship this year. I don't think Rich Rodriguez would sit here and tell you that. But I do think it is very clear that the belief in that building is they have a better product than they did last year.
Talking with Daniel Woods again with our Sports Blitz. British Open is
Yes.
going on, right? What can you tell us about that?
It's been interesting, to say the least, so far. A lot of guys having really big rounds today after tough first rounds yesterday. Lucas Herbert from Australia is out in front. He had a great round today, shot an even par 70 yesterday, was 8 under, shot a 62 today. And then beyond that, handful of Americans that are right in the mix. Cameron Young is 6 under, as is Jackson Suber, who led after one day. And then Sam Burns is 5 under. All of those guys are finished for the day today. Sam Burns, heck of a day for him. He was 3 over yesterday and then shot 8 under today to get to 5 under for the tournament. So it's still pretty tight at the top. They're playing at Royal Birkdale in England, which is, as you would expect for something that they're playing the Open on a very competitive course. So I think we're in for a pretty solid 36 holes coming up this weekend.
I'm going to go back to football just a moment. Joe Bricado is continuing his tour out everywhere. I think he was in Williamstown earlier this week, and he's all over the place. Check out his reports from there. And we've spent some time on the local show here in Charleston talking about St. Albans High football,
right.
and simply because this is a AAA school that was a Quad A school a couple of years ago. The AAA now very much in danger of not fielding a football team this year because they just don't have enough players out for it. They had a meeting Wednesday night at St. Albans High School, and I was texting back and forth with Coach Dan Brown. I had forgotten to reach out to him after the meeting, but I did just a couple hours before I went on the air today, and he said they had a pretty good meeting out there. And it's just, odd for me to think that a school the size of St. Albans may not field a football team this year. I mean, we hope that's not the case. I mean, but could very well happen.
Yeah, and it's a little wild to think about, like you said, and we've talked about it. There's a variety of reasons that these things happen. I mean, St. Albans historically has not had a ton of success, and that's the kind of thing that, frankly, discourages kids from coming out, and that's part of it. The Kanawha Valley, with these transfer rules that are now changing, has seen as much back and forth swapping of players as any part of the state. And, St. Albans has been hurt by that the last few years. They've had programs around them that kids have transferred to that have been very good, that if you're a high school sophomore, junior, senior, and you want to go play for a winning team and you have the ability to with the old transfer rules, the opportunity was right in your backyard. You've got Nitro that played for a state championship last year. You've got Herbert Hoover that's played for state championships the last couple of years at various points. Hurricane that was making deep playoff runs a couple of years ago with a lot of talent. So it's just really tough to sit back and see, because we talked about it last week. So often this is the lifeblood of the community. I think we talk about West Virginia and Marshall as well being so important to people because there are no pro teams in the state. Well, if West Virginia and Marshall become West Virginia's equivalent of the pro team, then the local high school becomes the equivalent of your local college team, and you get invested in them at that level. And to see even the possibility that a community like St. Albans just wouldn't have that to rally around is really kind of tough to watch.
And last week, we'll close with this. I had an opportunity to interview, I think we talked about it, you and I did last week, Mark Agasti, who's the head football coach at Van High School in Boone County, very, very small school.
Yes.
They didn't field a football team in Class Single A last year. They do have enough to field a team this year. And with that community, it's a very small school. It's it's 7th grade to seniors in high school, and good for him that they were able to get enough players to come out, because he and I talked about it. We talked about it on the show, especially in the smaller communities like that. There's nothing like high school football on a Friday night, and I'm very thankful for them, very proud of them, I should say, for the community for rallying around and trying to get enough kids out to play.
Yeah, and the Friday night football game in so many communities like Van and in Van and all around the state of West Virginia. Yeah, it's the high school football game, but it's also, the family reunion and the 30th anniversary class get together and the whole deal. That all happens on Friday night in a community like that. And that's what you don't want to see lost. And that's what I'm afraid maybe is going to happen if things keep trending the way that they are. Well,
it's the only sport as far as high school go in West Virginia that's at the same time. Now, occasionally you're going to have a Saturday afternoon game. I understand that. But, it's 7 or 7:30, depending on where you are. There's high school football. And basketball play on different nights, and baseball, of course, and suddenly. So it is it's kind of a rally point around the community. Real quick, we just talked about this last hour. NASCAR this weekend. First time since 1996, they are going to be in North Wilkesboro, one of those great-looking old-school tracks for a point race for the first time since 1996. I know a lot of eyes are going to be on North Wilkesboro, North Carolina.
Exciting weekend.
Indeed. Daniel Woods, let's see, what can I leave you with, Daniel? Do you take drugs, Daniel? And that's when that's probably not an appropriate line. Because,
I was going to say.
The next line would be, in the movie is every day. Good. Yeah. So how do you measure yourself against other golfers? By height.
There you go.
It's all Caddyshack next week. Daniel Woods, enjoy your weekend, my friend. We'll take a break and come back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thorold.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
First thing I hear when those mics go on is you just coughing, and I'm just like, this guy.
You don't appreciate me giving that show a little ratings boost?
Coughing directly onto these microphones? No, I don't want it.
Hotline on Metro News Television.
Quick reminder for you that every Wednesday we like to put the spotlight on somebody who's doing good stuff in their neighborhood. Somebody working with the homeless, somebody working with youth sports, feeding people, cleaning up litter. If they're doing good stuff in their community, we want to hear about them. Drop us an email midday at wvmetronews.com, midday at wvmetronews.com. You can reach out to either Amanda Barron or myself on social media. Dave Allen Radio on Facebook for me, or at Dave870 on X. Just a quick line or two about give us a person's name, give us a contact, how we can get a hold of them, and just tell us what they're doing. We want to celebrate the good folk doing good things in West Virginia. Drop us an email midday at wvmetronews.com, or on social media. For me, it's Dave Allen Radio on Facebook, or at Dave870 on X. Open Line West Virginia is coming up. Stay with us.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Your latest forecast, a lot of us take precautions with some up to dense wildfire smoke affecting visibility and air quality. A lot of areas of West Virginia there, including air quality alerts until midnight from the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection earlier this morning. Purple and maroon, that's like very unhealthy to hazardous air quality, so all groups in that category should take necessary precautions with the smoke. And then tonight I'll start watching for chances of rain that do go up likely Saturday night. Heavy and excessive rain leading to flash flooding potential, and also timing 2 rounds of potential severe weather. Later today, isolated damaging winds are possible with a front near and west of Charleston. And then tomorrow, later in the afternoon, Saturday night, a slight risk for scattered severe weather, especially damaging winds. Large hail can't be ruled out in the eastern panhandle. Northern panhandle, a brief spin up of a tornado is possible. High 91 yesterday in Charleston. We have a stationary front transitioning into a warm front powering northeast today. Some of us had fog, and in some areas may have mixed with smoke. And then a cold front comes in from the northwest early Sunday morning, so before that front moves in, I'll be watching for increasing rain, especially Saturday night. Fly Saver forecast, it starts at home. Charlotte heating up near 100 today. D.C., New York City have had issues with smoke recently as well. Air quality alert here to the northern panhandle. Highs near 90, lows in the warm 70s. Eastern areas, smoke, likely dry, warm to hot, highs near 90. Chance of a shower and storm tonight, lows near 70. Air quality alerts here, plenty of 80s and 90s to go around with a chance of showers and storms today, especially tonight. Southern areas, Huntington included in that isolated severe storm risk, high near 94. Again, rain likely, 100% chance Saturday night, ending early Sunday. Another chance early next week for rain, Tuesday and Wednesday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Okay, so we're going to do public math. So he won 9 his second year at West Virginia, 5 his second year at Michigan, 8 his second year at Arizona, second year at Jack State, he won 9, so it's 31 divided by 4.
Yeah, just under 8 per win or per season.
So there you go, Hunter. You can just forget about everything else and just mark it down.
Put Tony and I down for 8, Coach Hunter. Put us on the prediction show for 8. We already got it.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kercheval. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line on Metro News Television.
Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. It is 26 away from 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Dave Allen in the host chair. Hope everybody's gearing up for a great weekend. And Metro News meteorologist Brian Hughes says we got storms rolling in tomorrow, especially late tomorrow and into Sunday, but it's definitely going to cool off. Get rid of the smoke if you've got some up in your neighborhood, particularly bad in the northern part of West Virginia, from what I understand. Not so bad here in Charleston. There's a little bit of haze here, but it's not as bad as what I understand of what it is up there, but it should be all burning away by the time we get some storms. And Brian tells us that by the time Monday rolls around, it's going to actually be pretty comfortable here in the Mountain State. 1-800-765-TALK. That's the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304, a little thing we like to call Open Line West Virginia. Not really a text, but I did want to tell you that I got a message from one of our producers, Stephanie, who tells us that they did indeed square dance in Alum Creek, where she grew up, just so you know. And if you're tuning in right now and you're thinking, what in the heck is this moron talking about? Square, as I said earlier during the 12 o'clock hour, TJ and I, we were off mic and we were just talking a little bit. And he said, I don't know, what do you want to talk about? I said, let's talk about square dancing, which then got a conversation going about square dancing and why kids of the 70s and 80s, like myself and Stephanie, and then kids younger than us, like TJ, why they taught that square, and why they had us all square dancing. I don't know why that is, but Stephanie tells me at Alum Creek they did. I know they certainly did, in Logan County. I'm just throwing it out there that I still don't know to this day why they had us square dancing. 1-800-765-TALK. That is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, so for the flock cameras, can anyone put up cameras and sell the images? Like, is this the new industry where anyone can make money? Or is it limited only to government so they can charge fines and raise revenue without actually hiring policemen? Well, if you were listening to Mayor Patrick Farrell of Huntington earlier, he said, look, we're not using this when it's up and fully operational. We are not going to be using this for traffic violations. That's not what we're doing. We're looking for higher crime. Some of these things have gunshot detection systems, things of that nature. We live in a very, very strange time. You don't need me to tell you that, but we do, with the fact that everybody has a camera, everybody has a recording device via their iPhone or whatever device that they have. And, so I don't know. They say there is no expectation of privacy in a public place, and now we have people that are just going up for no reason online and recording people in parking lots and on the street, and then, just trying to get confrontational. Somebody comes and says, why are you recording me? Well, because I can. I just, I don't know. To answer your question, next year, I do not know. Text, when and where and how are the drones being put up in Huntington? Well, right now, I think if you listened to the mayor during the 12 o'clock hour, he says, look, this is not something we're doing tomorrow. We want to have, more dialogue with the public. We want to try to get this thing right. And so that's kind of where that stands. Text, when did television stop covering primetime presidential speeches? I'm not necessarily a Trump fan either, but that's disrespectful to the office. Yeah, Trump actually called out a couple of the networks for not carrying him, said that they should have their licenses revoked. And look, and I said this earlier this morning, we're not living in 1978 again, when I was a kid and there was 3 major networks, okay? You can literally see a president's speech about 1,000 different places. I don't know unless it is unless a president, no matter who the president is briefing us on a situation of war or a national tragedy, think 9/11, space shuttle explosion, things of that nature. I don't know that it is quite as big a deal anymore, no matter who the president is, because, quite frankly, they're available everywhere. I mean, from C-SPAN to YouTube, people get them on the different sites. So, I did not read too much into that last night myself, just because the presidential speeches are available everywhere. Now, look, we're not talking about a State of the Union speech or anything like that. And again, my comments would be the same on that subject, no matter who was in the White House. And I think eventually we'll get to the point that they're just not covered at all. Again, as I said, unless it's a State of the Union or a moment of a national crisis like we saw with 9/11 or something like that. 1-800-765-TALK, text 304-TALK 304. How many more times is Trump going to keep trying to peddle the lie about elections being stolen, says the texter. Well, I think he's going to continue to talk about it because he thinks that they were, and because he's trying to create some doubt over the midterms. I think from a political strategy, that's exactly what he's doing. Text Cole is dead. Please, for the love of God, get over it. Well, it's not quite yet. Text on the surveillance cameras, the reasons given are all admirable. The key word left out of the conversation is yet, all caps. Info obtained is not used inappropriately yet. It's too easy to misuse them once they are installed, says the texter. Look, I get all the concerns, 100%. I mean, I really, really do. I understand from a law enforcement standpoint, and talking to Sheriff Bobby Eggleton of Putnam County and some other law officials, they say that it could be a very valuable tool when used correctly. And I get it. Text, a lot of people don't have the luxury to pick and choose places to shop. Some people have to hold their nose and buy from an unethical business because that business is the only option, a la Walmart undercutting local shops, says the texter. Text says the market need. This was a conversation TJ and I were having. This is a response to that. The market need is the market need for Trump using government money to pay companies to divest from green energy production? ? Is the market need for the federal government to kill electric cars in favor of fossil fuels? I'm not a big fan of the government being involved in anything when it comes to things like that. I mean, I'm just not. Text, how any Republican could support all these cameras is beyond me. I expect that from Big Brother Democrats, but not conservative Republicans. 1-800-765-TALK. That's the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304, 19 away from 3. Text, I'm on Hilton Head Island right now, and you're still listening to us. I appreciate that. But anyway, it says, I am on Hilton Head Island right now. There was a shooting here on the beach July 4th, which is very rare. The only way they caught the people responsible was because of the use of flock cameras on the island, says the texter. Text to the mayor of Huntington, I have a lower trust of private corporations than I do of the government. Text, hey, Trump, how about we release reports on so-called election cheating the same time you release the Epstein files? Text, people had better wake up. These data centers will destroy our beautiful state if we don't wake up. From the text line, I don't trust Republicans' partnership with the tech industry to increase the surveillance state. No more claims. Small government. I agree with the last part of that. For some reason, in my opinion, the days of Republicans, many Republicans, not all, many Republicans wanting small government seem to be gone by the wayside, because many in the Republican Party today have gone totally off the rails, in my opinion, in that respect of smaller government. That's what Republicans are known for. Smaller government, get the heck out of the way. And many Republicans, I don't think, are heeding that message. 18 away from 3 o'clock. Mr. Allen, I know you have prearranged questions for guests, but a good question for the mayor of Huntington would have been to ask if he swore an oath to uphold citizens' U.S. constitutional rights. These public recording devices are blatantly a violation of the Fourth Amendment. As far as prearranged questions go, I don't know what, I mean, I do have an idea when I have a guest, what I'm going to ask. They don't arrange the questions for me. I pretty much come up with my own questions. But I do appreciate the text, and that is a good point. Text is live on the levee, going to move indoors due to the code red air quality. We trust you know the right people to ask. Well, no, it is not, from what I understand. Live on the levee here in Charleston. It's our weekly free concert event sponsored by the Moses Auto Group at Haddad Riverfront Park. Will go on tonight with the Led Zeppelin tribute with the great John Ingram and one of our sister stations here in Charleston, 98.7 The Mountain. Wild and Wonderful Classic Rock will be there live celebrating their 3rd birthday. It is going on as planned in the great out of doors at Haddad Riverfront Park. 2:43, it's Metro News Midday. 1-800-765-TALK. Text 304-TALK 304. We'll take a break and come back after this.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZMM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZMM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
Summer in West Virginia means open roads, blue skies, and endless possibilities. But if you don't have reliable wheels, getting to work or making it to a doctor's appointment can feel like an uphill climb. That's where Good News Mountaineer Garage comes in. We take donated vehicles, fix them up, and get them to fellow mountaineers who need them the most. This summer, let's keep our community moving. Donate a vehicle today by calling 866-GIVE-CAR or visit goodnewsmountaineergarage.org. Donate a car, change a life.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Okay, so we're going to do public math. So he won 9 his second year at West Virginia, 5 his second year at Michigan, 8 his second year at Arizona, second year at Jack State, he won 9, so it's 31 divided by 4.
Yeah, just under 8 per win or per season.
So there you go, Hunter. You can just forget about everything else and just mark it down.
Put Tony and I down for 8, Coach Hunter. Put us on the prediction show for 8. We already got it.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discovered tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then before I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
We're going to do public math, so it's 31 divided by 4.
Yeah, just under 8 per win.
Just mark it down.
Put Tony and I down for 8. Coach Hunter, put us on the prediction show for 8. We already got it. There's the math.
Just go. Sportsline on Metro News Television.
Welcome back to the show. 12 away from 3 on a Friday afternoon. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. Dave Allen in the host chair. 1-800-765-TALK. That's the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304 in Open Line, West Virginia. Text says cameras can be avoided if you have the skills. I fortunately have these skills. Sounds like superpowers there to me. I mean, I do not have those skills, so Texter, if you'd like to teach a workshop on that. I mean, not that I want it for nefarious reasons, but, we're on Metro News Television after in the 2 o'clock hour here, and also it's over on Facebook as well. And sometimes I share the Facebook feed on Dave Allen Radio, and there's a little bit of a difference between, live radio and what's on there. And so last hour, or early in this hour, we took the first commercial break, and I went over to make sure I had shared it properly and caught myself on camera looking down at my ever-thinning hairline. And I thought, oh, man, I could have gone all day and not seen that. But I will also be 56 in September, so I guess I can keep that in mind. Text, I am mourning the Penguins and Nailers breakup. I wonder what NHL team I'll root for next because I'm a Nailers fan for life. It's interesting. Earlier this week, we were on the show. I talked to the Wheelie Mayor, Denny Magruder, and we were talking about some data center issues up there and whatnot, and making a little small talk, and he invited me up to go to a Nailers game, which I have never been to a Nailers game. And that announcement coming yesterday. I actually heard it on Hotline yesterday that they are severing their relationship with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Or the Pittsburgh Penguins are severing their relationship with them, I guess. 1-800-765-TALK. That's the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Kudos to Sheriff Eggleton, says the texter. Reference to Putnam County Sheriff Bobby Eggleton, who we had on the show a little bit earlier, who issued a statement yesterday saying that Putnam County had entered into this agreement with the flock camera folks, but upon further review, as they would say in the NFL, they've kind of put the pause to it right now because they have questions and to educate themselves a little bit more. So that's what the sheriff said. Text, the press got lazy with the last president, never addressed the country on anything. No disagreements here. Text, Cole is dead, ? Tell that to the thousands of folks who bust their butts mining it daily just so you can keep your phone charged. Again, I agree. Police could catch even more criminals if they could listen to all of our phone calls that are made over public airwaves. Not really sure I'm not really sure the context of that. Hey, Mr. Logan County, what's with the guy threatening the president? Go get your people. At least he ain't my people. I don't. I'm like you. I found out about it when I read the news story that we did at WVMetroNews.com. A young, not a young man, he's an adult from Chapmanville, was caught up in this whole thing of the terror plot at the UFC fight. I do not know him. Saw the name, and I can't do anything about that. Text Dave, I haven't seen this much smoke since my WVU dorm room in the 1970s. Have a great weekend. The two Daves you predicting gets LeBron? I don't know. I'll have to bring Weekly in during our transition period, and we'll talk about it. To be honest with you, as you heard me say before, I'm not a huge NBA fan. I haven't been for a number of years, but I have followed this saga of where LeBron's going to end up next. I mean, I think personally, and I don't have a dog in a fight because I don't even have really a favorite NBA team, but I think it would be kind of cool to see him to go back to Cleveland just to, retire from there. That's if the guy ever retires. I know that would make my co-host Amanda Barron happy, or maybe it wouldn't. Sometimes, she may not have been happy with that decision. Texter said, we survived COVID only to get killed off by lettuce. Welcome to America in the 2020s. They got jokes today. Text, early this week on your show, the Farmer's Almanac said put peanut butter on your hot dog. I don't know what that means. Text says, I have no problem with cameras. I have an iPhone and Facebook. I already know I'm being tracked. Text, how are we going to charge those electric cars? Coal is dead. With that, we'll take a break and wrap it up after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Hey, I take offense of that.
Why would you do that? Because on midday, the last segment, the first thing I hear when those mics go on is you just coughing, and I'm just like, this guy.
You don't appreciate me giving that show a little ratings boost at the end, a little boom boom?
You coughing directly onto these microphones? No, I don't want it.
I don't know where this came from.
Everybody.
I'm in another room, guys. I don't know.
Everybody.
Hey, Coop,
I'm just watching this.
Hotline on Metro News Television.
Need a
Welcome back to the show. We got about 3 minutes in front of the hour, 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Dave Allen with you. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producer today. Look who's here, ladies and gentlemen. Voted most likely to drive a Ford Pinto station wagon to his class reunion. It's Dave Weekend.
I never owned a Pinto.
Yeah, I didn't either.
but one of my friends did.
Mm-hmm. Did it explode?
It did get in a wreck. It did get in a
It was
wreck.
a big thing back in the day.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What were we thinking? The Pinto. Like, hey, I got an idea. Let's put the engine in the back.
Well, I mean, what do you ask me what I'm thinking for? I was a kid back
That's
then.
right.
I didn't have one. What was your first car? I know we probably discussed
Oh,
this.
my gosh. I wish I still had it. My dad bought me a used 1974 gold Camaro.
Oh, really?
I had a gold. Dude, I was.
Here we go.
I had a gold
Old guy
Camaro.
story alert. Old guy story alert.
I had a gold Camaro and was a lifeguard while I was still in high school.
Dude.
I know. If you only knew, right? If you only knew.
I can practically hear a fog hat playing as we speak.
That's right. Yeah.
My first car was a 1977 Pontiac Ventura. The Ventura was a Chevy Nova, basically, and it was a grandma car. It was a grocery getter, as we call it.
Grocery getter.
It was a grocery getter. But I worked in high school to be able to buy things for the car that made it look cool, like look fast, and it wasn't. Air shocks, Metro News television, set up like this.
Yeah.
And fuzzy dice and the stereo.
No, you
and
didn't
all
have
that.
fuzzy
Oh,
dice.
yeah.
You did.
You could hear me coming a mile away, man. My senior year of high school is when Whitesnake came out. I had the
Nice.
mullet. I had the black Reeboks. I had the members-only jacket, to the point that I was the last member left in members-only. And you could practically hear the opening guitar riff of Still of the Night when I pulled in.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
It's Friday. I think I'm going to go crank up some Whitesnake right now.
I think that's a good plan.
All right. I don't have time to ask you what you're doing on the show. You're doing normal Friday things, right?
Right, yeah.
All right.
Pretty much.
I'm in on your in or out, though, on the burger.
Spicy chicken?
I'm in on that 100%. All right, so folks, have yourself a great weekend. I will see you again Monday. Till then, have fun and love somebody.